Alright, so I know I haven't made a video in a while, and I really don't have anything to say, but sorry. That's actually partially what this video is going to be about. I'm going to do something a bit different, and for those of you who follow my blog would know that that means that this was going to be a bit more personal than normal. Um, Yeah, we're going to talk about my life for a minute and why I've been having issues putting out the videos, and probably why a lot of the videos you might have seen were kind of lackluster, while others I was very energetic, and what's been going on in my life. So let's talk about that for a bit. So in my life, I've always had periods of not being so up to par in concerns with my moods. I would just not be happy. Uh, Nothing ever too severe. Usually it just meant I couldn't get energetic about anything. Um, I would be more skeptical of things or more pessimistic. But it wasn't really all that severe, and then when I was happy, I felt good. I felt really good. And like the fact that I felt I could do anything, and I was extremely optimistic about things. And this is something that's been going on since my mid-teens, probably since around being 15. If well, yeah, 15 would be a good estimate of when this cycle started. And for a long time, I wrote it off. I imagined it was a pattern mostly constructed by by the human nature of just noticing patterns, even if there aren't any, or that I was thinking too hard on things. I was making myself depressed in these situations, and that really the happy, confident me was who I really was. But as time went by, it became more and more that there were not. It became more and more noticeable that there weren't triggers for what was happening. My moods weren't triggered by anything. It wasn't as if something bad was happening, or something bad was going on in my life, or I was thinking of bad things that was making me depressed, or that good things were happening and that made me happy. I just was sad or happy, and there was no reason for me to be. Which, while was slightly concerning, I wrote it off again, because it didn't really interfere with my life. It wasn't optimal, because there were times when I was just not enjoying myself as much as I could, but it wasn't interfering with my life. I could go to day by day and act as if nothing was wrong, and that this wasn't feeling weird to me. I could do what people do. Recently, though, not so much. I don't think it's related to Japan or anything specific. I don't know. But recently, both of these things have gotten more severe and noticeable. When I'm happy, I'm very happy. I'm very energetic. I have a lot of confidence in myself, and I feel like almost nothing can go wrong. However, these periods of happiness don't happen as frequently as they used to. And then when I'm sad, I can barely pick myself up in the morning. There have been days where I've had to skip class just because of the anxiety I felt by looking at the door at all. And then just the amazing lack of energy I had to do anything. I was very much convinced that nothing I did that day would matter. And so I would just stay in my room and sleep. And that's another thing. I've been incredibly exhausted. It doesn't matter like how much sleep I get. If I get sleep, I'm tired in these depressed stages. If I don't get sleep, I'm still tired. And this has been coupled with insomnia, which has required me to also need to drink more caffeine than I've had to get through some days. And both of these things are on and off, but it leads into my next point, in that I've started having auditory hallucinations. I didn't think of them as that until I talked to some other people who have had similar situations, but it's very clear to me now that that has been what's going on. They are voices that are not mine that are interacting with me during these depressed stages, and I don't feel like I have control over them. And auditory hallucinations are both aggravated by lack of sleep and caffeine consumption. So I feel like they're probably triggered by the depressed stages, but been made worse by the other things that the situation has caused. Now, there are a few things I want to stress, and that is, I have not been diagnosed with anything yet. I plan to see someone upon returning home because the Japanese medical system is not nearly as advanced in that field as America's is. And I plan on getting help, and I've talked to my parents about this and what we're going to do to deal with it. The other thing, besides the lack of current diagnosis, is that as of yet, I have not had any suicidal thoughts, so I don't want anyone worrying about that, because I know that that's a major concern when it comes to things like this. I have not. The only reason I'm saying it is not because I don't believe I'm going to. It's not like I think that this is a thing that's going to happen, but it's a pretty typical concern when it comes to these situations, and I don't count myself as an exception to rules, usually. But I don't see it going that way, and hopefully I'll be talking to someone about this before it gets to that point. Yeah, that's what's happening in my life. That's why I've been having trouble keeping up with videos. It's not an excuse, but it is the reason for why I've been having trouble getting motivated, and it's been why I've had issues with thinking of things to do, because even when I think of something, I will get really down on myself about making a video for it. And the reason I'm making this video, which sadly is probably still not going to mean regular videos, but the people I know who watch my videos are people I care about, and I want the people I care about to know what's happening in my life, and to know that I trust them with this information, and that I want them to be aware of my life. And yeah, that's about it. Thank you. The people I've told already have been very supportive and very kind about it, and it's meant a whole lot to me that I've had that support. So, yeah. Thank you. I hope everyone has a good day. I'll still see about posting some videos in the future, but I can't guarantee it. I'm sorry. Thanks.